Hi, Milli Family. Welcome back to another episode here on the Milli Experience. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Millie. My content is about encouraging you to live your best and most authentic life and inspire you to go after your dreams as my I myself am going on my own journey and following my dreams and just trying to build that supportive community here on this platform. So, if you haven't already, make sure that you comment and go over to my other social media pages, TikTok and Instagram, and like and follow over there. Now, if you hear me say because I'm not usually an speaker, we're just back getting into it. I know some of you that are returning are like, "Where have you been? What's been going on?" I'm sorry, life be life, and I'm starting to realize that I'm the root of these causes. Okay, of course, like we all have like different life experiences and we go through different things, but sometimes I intentionally cause what's going on and I trying to find other factors to try to like use excuses. And I'm a lot of excuses, so it's time to do. So right now I'm in the state of, anything that you're doing that's not benefiting you or getting you one step closer to where you need to be. At this point, you're intentionally trying to harm yourself. You intentionally don't want to make your dreams happen. And I can't have that because I try so hard to go in the right direction that when I'm not going in the right direction, it really kind of gets to me because I work so hard to stay in the right direction. And so we're going to keep trying to be in the right direction. I've been going to therapy, been trying to resolve some unhealed trauma, and just been trying to adapt being in New York City and things of that nature. Again, hi, my name is Millie, and I'm cashing out all of your timeline. We're getting back into it. So, I think I'm starting this new series. No, I don't think. We're not thinking no more. I'm starting this new series. It's going to be called The Milli Diaries. I'm going to put it right here. The Milli Diaries, right? And so this week's topic is going to be about passion requiring sacrifice. I'm going to tell you where I got the quote from. But if you see me looking down, I have my notes because I like to be as intentional what I'm saying as possible. So if you see me look down, I'm just trying to stay and keep on the path, okay? But this episode is passion requires sacrifice. And that's something I'm learning here in my 20s. Yes, I'm in my 20s, young and refresh. The facial hair might not sell it, but yeah, young and refresh, okay? But passion requires sacrifice. So I was going to a dance class, and this particular day, I was just already feeling off. I came in right on time. So, like, the class started at 1 o'clock. I'm in there at 1 o'clock. And in the performance dance world, on time is to be late, and to be late is totally inside the world. Wooty woo wati wop. When I walked in, they didn't even start yet. So it was okay. The instructor, amazing instructor. I had prior dance classes with this instructor, and he's a phenomenal dancer. But in this specific class, he was pouring so much life into us. Like, and I was almost on the verge of tears. And he was saying along the lines of passion requires sacrifice. And I don't know, we were laying on the ground doing crunches and sit ups and stuff like that. He was talking about our bodies and stuff like that. And for me, I almost broke down in tears. Why? Because I was already going through so much. I'm tired, exhausted, feeling like I'm not on the right path and doing what I need to be doing. And so when you said passion requires sacrifice, I'm literally sacrificing everything that I could have, in the quintessential American dream to follow my passion, to be in this industry and to do what I need to do. So it felt like somebody actually heard me and somebody was actually listening to me, and that's kind of what we all want in some form of passion: somebody to understand us, somebody to want to listen to us, and somebody wants to hear us. So passion requires sacrifice. I see that in chasing my dreams. I want to eventually be on Broadway, be a Broadway performer. I actually met someone at the dance class who performed on Broadway and was doing all this stuff, and then we had a little tap step in the choreography. I can't do it like a tap. So now I'm figuring out, like, if I'm gonna be on Broadway, I have to learn how to tap. I'm like, oh, okay, that's okay. But even when chasing our dreams, it's something about being a creative and being a performer that no one really understands. No one understands the sacrifice. No one understands what your body goes through, what your mental goes through. And 9 times out of 10, people think that we're insane. We're not going to make it. And we always have people constantly judging our lifestyle. But it requires a sacrifice. I have to sacrifice having friends. I have to sacrifice being by myself and understanding and trusting in my own life path in order to make my dreams happen. Next is loneliness. Maybe it's just me being in a different city and by myself and not having real genuine friends here. And don't get me wrong, I have tried. um, I've made one person who like is like close to a genuine connection, but we kind of like cheated off. But the other people are just crazy. Like they're crazy, unhealed. And I'm not saying that it's in turn a bad thing, but they're just not fitted for the lifestyle that I am pursuing. So with being alone, mind y'all, I come from a big family. Growing up, I was never really used to being alone. Even when I was alone, there was somebody there. I shared a room with my brothers. When I walked out of my room, there was somebody in the living room. If they weren't in their room, if I was in the kitchen, there's somebody around. But like here in this atmosphere, in this space, it's like it's just me all the time. Sometimes that can be a little bit scary, especially like with your thoughts, if they're not always positive and things like that. That gets scary, but sometimes I really have to be alone in order to like, okay, are you going to make yourself or are you going to break yourself? And I'm not trying to intentionally break myself. I don't think anybody's intentionally trying to break themselves. So yeah, I'm learning that with this passion that I have, this I have to sacrifice being alone all the time and no one really understanding why do I do the decisions that I make and going about that. Now, lust and distraction. Okay? Because we all want to feel wanted. But sometimes that want can get in the way. The time we spend on these dating apps and the time we spend looking for validation for someone to see that we're pretty or just someone to see that we're cute or have this nice outfit on. I need to start taking that time and building. You see these affirmations on the wall? I couldn't put them on the wall if I was too busy linking. And that's a story for another time. But even with the lust and distraction, someone told me like being a male, one of the hardest things you're gonna have to learn is like, getting over that physical release and stuff like that. And I understand, but that comes with a level of control and self-control that I intend to have to relearn because growing up, I would say about junior, senior year of high school, I met my, at the time, best friend. We're no longer best friends to today, and introduced me to the whole world of linking with DL men, being on the apps and stuff like that. And overall, that relationship did not turn out the best at all. And through that, I realized that I was kind of learning how to like I was basically looking for love that I wasn't getting from my family. I wasn't getting from my parents. My parents at the time felt like they hated me. They wanted to do, well, I mean, they did. But, and I was looking for someone to like all the energy and stuff that I was doing. Like I was in school, was making the good grades. I was doing what I needed to do, but it was never enough for my parents because they couldn't see past gay. So met my friend, introduced me to the lifestyle, and that was crazy because people really take that innocence of you and use and manipulate that. But I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that in later videos, so I'm gonna put a button on that right now. Discipline. Now, I would say I was a most pretty disciplined child growing up. I had minor altercations, but they weren't really major altercations. Now, some people may have blown them out of proportion, but I was very much a disciplined child. And I feel like after graduating college and getting my degree and everything, I kind of lost that because one of the things that forced me to have this certain level of discipline was being in the band, was marching, was having to show up on time, have them grades, go to class, eat, sleep, wake up, do it all over again, go to this performance. And so when I wasn't doing that, and I have all this free time and all this time to like figure something else out, it kind of just fell. And I feel like I'm kind of picking that back up and rebuilding myself. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lost my sense of identity post graduation because everything I worked so hard, it was gone. Girl, I worked so hard to get my degree. I was working to be on the radio. I was working to be a feature spoiler, and then I eventually got everything. And then after that, it was kind of like, what's next? And I felt like I really wasn't prepared for the what's next. I wouldn't say I wasn't prepared. I didn't have enough confidence in myself because I was going through so much at that time. And I can do another video on graduation. So if you want the graduation experience video, just put that type graduation in the comment section down below, okay? Because graduation was time for me. It was a great time, but it was also a sad time. And throughout last year and still to this year, I felt like I have to constantly be rebuilding myself, let go of old identities because they won't help me form my new ones. And so in my 20s, at least right now, I'm learning that following your passions requires sacrifice. And I know one day it's all going to make sense, it's all going to come together. But right now, in the beginning stages, it all seems like a blur. It's really unsecure. I feel like I'm that teacher trying to fight for tenure. The teacher trying to fight for tenure, your job's secure, but it's not really that secure until you got that tenure, okay? But it's a whole thing because it's a world of the unknown, especially being a performer. And if you're an artist and you're a creative, you're someone trying to build a platform and stuff, you already know the beginning stages. It ain't what it make it out to be, but later down the line, it's all going to make sense, right? And so that's all I had for you today in the passion requires sacrifice conversation. But I did miss one point. It was making or breaking because I feel like right now I'm either being made or to break. Are you going to do this or are you going to fall off? And that's the question that I feel like I'm being constantly asked every day when I wake up. God's like, okay, I'm giving you this chance. Is you gonna make it or you finna flake it? Is you gonna make it or you gonna break it? You gonna make it? You gonna break it? No, I'm gonna make it, okay? But sometimes I constantly have to reassure myself of that. And if I have to tell you something, so on Instagram, no, not on Instagram, on TikTok, I'm starting this new affirmation things. I think you'll enjoy the concept and everything. And so I'm going to start ending my videos with an affirmation from the wall, okay? So I'm going to just go on a circle like this, and then we're going to pick one. What's this one? Okay, great. And I'm gonna read it to you, and I hope it inspires you. Okay, because this one kind of matches the conversation for today. And we picked it at random, so here you go. This is the affirmation for you. Have more confidence in yourself. You are capable of great things. You hear that, friend? You hear that, Miles? Okay, you hear that, Millie? You hear that, Millie family? Okay, have more confidence in yourself. You are capable of great things. In the comments, I want you to type, I have confidence in me. If you could do that for me, that would be so great. And as always, if you like the video, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you join the family, make sure you follow my TikTok handle, my Instagram handle, and turn on those notifications so you know when we're posting another video. Now, of course, I'm not going to promise anything, but in this new journey, I'm going to attempt to give you one video a week. Okay, we're going to try this out for the end of May till the end of June and see how it goes. We're constantly building, and if you're here for the journey, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, drop in the comment section. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you did it. I mean, hey, something. It's a growing process. It's a learning process. But I thank you for taking your time because time is life to sit and listen to me and share this experience and part of your life with me. As always, it's Millie Miles cashing out all over your timeline. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.